Yep, we're starting. Okay.
Hello, this is Graham again. This is the second video of the military ASMR of Battletop Gaming, and this is in the 1/72 scale hat range, some Sylvester and Italeri, and we will unbox and look at what we've got and trim some out of sprues and assemble. So here we go. We'll get started with the first one. Hat. We have French cavalry. I'll put this behind it. French cavalry, 1/72 scale hat range for the Napoleonic War period, late 1700s to 1815, and except for we have 12 in total cavalry with a mounted. We have the horse there. I'll try and get a good close-up of roughly what you're working with. You get the connected sprues. Each sprue so like this, and then once trimmed and removed carefully, watch your hands, and the plastic is sturdy, and just care is needed when removing the horse and the rider, and the detail is good, the crafting is good. This is the simpler version out there compared to some which require more assembly. I'll glue it to a base. So now that's now glued to a base, and I would advise giving them a quick wash with soapy water if you wish, but I have found the paint is sticking well, and so that would be the first of these units. You can do them in singles, pairs, you can do them in groups of 3. But for ease of painting, I would say maximum of 2 per stand for your French forces of French dragoons. The plastic is bright red, so I would advise and suggest you prime these in either white or black. Try to get a plastic friendly spray paint, and wait 2 or 3 days for the paint to dry, and then prime your miniature, and I'll show you what glue I'm using in a moment. So I put the cavalry unit on this base, and I am using Sally's All Fix multi-grip solvent based adhesive, and I have found it is working well with cardboard and this specific plastic, of which there are. I am currently working with 5 types of plastics, and some will use model glue and others would prefer a glue gun, and some multi-purpose plastic friendly adhesive glue to this. And another one I'd like to show you, which I have already removed from the box, are these Old Guard 1/72 scale of that I have already primed and painted and based some of these units that I got last month, and I will show these French forces displayed on a battlefield, a replica of La Haye Sainte, like I said, and I'll remove another unit. Often you just take a cut and reduce the sprue and carefully cut, because the plastic can warp if you apply too much pressure. And also always be very careful with the knife in removing the mold sprue, and then you can sometimes just prepare the saddle for the glue and the mounted warrior, that soldier that's going on there. And very quickly, as you can see, within 5 or 10 minutes you have a few units ready to be used that can that will require some time. Wait about 2 or 3 hours for those to dry before handling and priming, ready for paint. And get a good pair of clippers. Here I use pliers you can get from, say, a $2 shop. You can get a good pair of $5 or $10 cutting pliers. If you go to Bunnings, you get effectively the same pliers, and sometimes they come in a 4-pack, sometimes they are single if in stock, and that way you can remove them from the sprue without causing any damage, which can, if you cause damage to them, it will affect the final quality for when you paint the figure. So within a short period of time we have seven cavalry units for your forces. You could say if you are into historical battles, the Napoleonic theme era is a good one to for battlefield battle-top gaming. Just be sure to stock up on some 6-sided dice. There are various rules that you can use for the gaming. There is you could also make your own rules up with rolling the dice, and that's fine if your opponent agrees to the rules. Fair rules, of course. And keep a small diary, a record of your turn phases of combat, battle, rolling tests, like say to hit, a roll to wound, a courage test, like in some games, because if a soldier in his regiment of units is attacked or shot at or hit by cannon or hit by fire during battle, you want to reflect that and have and the key is to enjoy the game and test your battle gaming skills, get better over time, improve, and remember to vacuum up your excess plastic left over. And there we go. We have the French Dragoon units ready there, and you can prime them and paint them, and you may want to use sand around the base with PVA glue. You may want to use tough turf, artificial grass. That will add a increased level of detail. And so that is the first units. The next one, also Napoleonic, 1/72 scale, is again hat. It's French Guard Chasseurs, and there are 48 units in this pack. Detail is very good. There is the illustration, and it has your soldier, French imperial soldier with the musket bayonet.
They're from 1820 something.
So from you can use these from around 1800 to 1815. 1815 is when...
That's the era.
Yes, is when Napoleon was defeated at Waterloo, and the Empire of France was reduced slightly for a period, and we have a flute. We have different poses. I will show you some of this first sprue. I quite like the quality. No damage, no warping, good detail. And that's sprue 1. The second is the same. We have 12 soldiers per sprue, 4 sprues, and I'm quite happy with these. I think these will make for an excellent force. I'll just remove 4 of these, maybe 3. So you carefully remove those from the sprue. Take care with the knife, cutting blade. Just take your time and don't apply too much force, and you'll, for the most part, be fine. I'll just get some glue going here for the base.
So you'll have some British forces coming as well at some stage, or?
Just 1 minute. So make sure you clean clearly the base of the figure so it stands straight. And that is the first. And that will be ready for priming, painting, final base to be turfed with PVA glue, and that will be the addition to the French forces and the British forces I currently have. So that is the French. Next is 1806 Prussian Fusilier, and hat brand again, 48 units. He has a musket, a green coat, the typical style of the day for the hat, with a visor, his belt, his ammunition box bag on his back. With hat, we appear to have some very well crafted detail to these units. Simple poses, on parade pose, firing, in between firing, and kneeling, and 12 units per sprue. We have, I'll just show the detail of these ones. This is in a plastic grey colour. But once you have primed these, based them, primed them and painted them, they will be quite excellent for your forces to use against the French. The Prussians were vital during the late last era of Napoleon, of Emperor Napoleon, to the French of the era that was the Napoleonic Wars. Here we have French line horse artillery. There are no horses, but you could add those if you wished. We have a simpler style of casting. There are less parts. There are 2 wheels, the gun frame, the cannon itself, and operators, loading, and crew with the bright red plastic. So that will definitely need to be primed. If you have the time, you can paint these, or you could pay someone to paint them for you, or have someone help you paint them to whatever level. Just pick up the one French cannon crewman that tried to evade his work. And so that is the cannons. You have 40 pieces. You have it should say how many units. Oh, but you do get plenty in this brand. Some have less number of cannons per box. Some have more, but I find this one will give you reinforcements for your French forces for 1 or 2 boxes of these to get started, or to complete your forces. And so that's the second. The next one, we have a very good artwork on this one. We have the Royal Artillery, Russian Guard Heavy Artillery, 1812 to 1814. You could use this for 1815 for the end, last year of campaign of the European Allied forces to challenge Napoleon. We have bright green plastic with this one, and have a slightly different style of cannon work crew with long chains and linkages. There are buckets with this one, which others don't have. Some have a single munition box. This has buckets, and you have a range of poses. You have an officer. This one here, quite a good officer there, leading and commanding the men. We have a more complicated carriage system of the cannon. It will require some more patience, a good glue, and you have a cart for the crew there, and the parts are smaller. Like I say, the main frame is here for the cannon, with the rear joint mechanism here. The wheels are attached to this mechanism here. There is a cannon with a additional cannon tip, and the tip is up in this corner here. You have a range of medium, possibly 6-pounder cannon, and those make for, I'd say, a very good quality artillery unit. And I will assemble and paint these in later videos. I will possibly do also cavalry in the next few also, and this one comes with a extended carriage slightly different from the standard cannon and make for a good addition to Russian forces for your army. So next one, these arrived yesterday. I ordered them, and these are hat again, 1815 Prussian Dragoons. You can use these for Waterloo if you wish to do Waterloo themes. These are a series of villages around Waterloo. You can do multiple scenarios. You can research the site, look at the French countryside where Waterloo is, and you can see the layout, depending on how much detail you wish to go into. We have 6 sprues, 12 cavalry pieces. We have good detailing, good moulding, nothing missing, in good condition, and I rate these highly. They look well detailed, and I think these will do very nicely for completing the army that I'm working on. And I will put these away and move on to the next one. And this box shows you the poses of the cavalry units. There's a illustration on colour scheme. So these are in dark blue uniform with red cuffs, and you can paint your horses any colour you wish. You may wish to do a white horse, brown or black or grey or cream, and they don't all have to be the same colour, and it makes for a realistic painting style if you choose to go for that style of detail. Next is Napoleonic Prussian Hussars. 12 units. These came in yesterday, and they complete the cavalry that I needed to battle top the French forces, of which I have infantry, cannon, and cavalry. There were kites and hot air balloons, but so far I have not seen any units like that. So we have 3 sprues, we have 12 units, dark blue plastic. These will paint up nicely, the detail was excellent. These have a trumpet man, musket, swordsman, good detail. These will do very nicely for the Prussian Hussars, and I'll put these ones away. They have a soft plastic, some of these, so yeah, be gentle with the assembly of those. The cannons of the hat range, Württemberg, Italeri, and I appear to have accidentally put cavalry in the wrong box, but never mind, that's okay. They're very similar in style of hat, at least. They have a plume on their steel brass gilded helm, and the cannon crew that do come in this box look like this, and I will show them later. They are half of these are painted, and I was painting them today, and I can show you what I have in the box. Is the cavalry for the British Hussars. Bright plastic, arms need gluing on. We have trumpets, pistol, musket, sword, for those units, and I have painted some of these already, and they are very good. Next is Napoleonic British Heavy Dragoons, and I believe there are 12 in the box. Again, we have different poses for horses. We have prancing, or trot, and good detail. Good detail for the these cavalry. So these ones come in a red jacket. They have grey trousers, and yeah, try different colours for your horses if you want, or if you want them all brown or all black. It works well with the whatever theme you wish to do. And so that is the cavalry with the stylized hat for the heavy British Dragoons. Next is Scottish Highlander Infantry.
Awesome.
1/7 scale. This is Italeri brand. Detail is very good. 3 sprues, and you get 36 units. The drum has to be attached to the drummer. They have a sergeant with a spear, typical kilt, standard backpack, ammo satchel bag on the lower right back, a bright blue canteen for drinking water, and got the woolen fluff tough helmet. There are moulding sprues that have to be removed from the arms, which is easy enough to do. Just do it carefully and you won't damage the contours of the arms. And I rate these highly. I'll take some out. I'll remove 3 of them. And I'll remove the first one, the second, and these are your Scottish allies to the British. Now we will cut off the excess sprue. Make sure there's no fingers below where your blade is cutting. Carefully remove the excess. Then there's the final effort to remove the moulding sprue on the arms, which this brand has. Then there's the tidy up work, tidy up the moulding where you've removed the sprue, and that makes for the excellent Scottish musketman. You can do 3 a stand, 6 a stand, 9 a stand. You can have slightly more if you wish, depending on the size of your forces. You can have them individually on stands, which I do all of that, depending on what the orders are, whether they're in battle mode or march mode. And that is the Scottish Highlanders in various poses, and you can prime those, paint those, base them, and they will do very well. And I hope you enjoyed this video. That was reinforcements for the current army I've got, and emboldening, and the next video I will be painting, and some of you have possibly been painting before. I find that with the brass metallic parts, I prime with yellow on white and add a little darkening colour before applying the brass colours or silver metallic tones, which make them brighter and stand out more contrastingly. And if you paint in group, your infantry units in groups of 3, 6, 9 or 12, and do one colour for the whole lot of in a go, you will progress quickly and won't be spending too much time washing brushes. And so yes, like and subscribe, and that concludes episode 2. I hope you have enjoyed your evening or day, and yeah, see you next time.